what are ways that people can hold themselves accountable when taking action towards a specific goal?
Mike, you want to
Uh,
go?
yeah, that's pretty vague, but yeah, and I'll give you a couple of things. So for me, so what I like to do is have like a function of gratitude. Like, so for instance, whenever I have something that's rough that's going on, a lot of times I'll just consider, dude, the majority of the human experience has been nothing but what? It's like misery, right? We didn't have antibiotics until 1947. We weren't able to fly in airplanes. Women died like somewhere between 10 and 25% of them died in childbirth. Like, it was crazy how bad the world was. For me, whenever I don't feel like I'm accomplishing something, I just look at it and I'm just like, how fucking grateful I am to be living in a time where, I can fly to any other different, I'm coming to New York in April. Like, I can fly to different places in the world. I can talk to my friends at the speed of light right now, basically for free on Zoom. I just have a ton of gratitude for my situation. Secondly, for me, what I recommend for a lot of my clients is the concept of present moment awareness. So this is like, basically, I don't interpret anything. I'm fully accepting of the fact that either my body hurts, or I'm tired, or something else happened. There's no resistance to the present moment whatsoever. And then third is this kind of understanding, this complete and total acceptance of the fact that I'm going to die, and you're going to die, and we're all going to die. Me and Elon Musk are going to be in the same place in 300 years. And so when you do that, it kind of relieves you of the burden of just like procrastination to me. And so for me, the present moment awareness, the focus, the gratitude, those are the reasons why I'm able to focus on doing one task at a time and taking action. Alternatively, or additionally, there's one of my favorite books is called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And he goes over the concept that humans can't really multitask. You notice how you'll see women and they'll be like doing their makeup and talking to their friend. They're not actually multitasking. So for them, it's sort of like this, what is it? What's the word? It's a meditation. Women will get in, they'll have like three girls take over my bathroom, and they'll just be fucking doing makeup in there for like hours. Whereas if we were men and we had to do that, we would focus on one thing. It would just be silent focus. We would get the fucking thing done, and then we'd move on to the next thing. So focusing on one thing at a time, that Gary Keller, it's Gary Keller from Keller Williams Realty. Um, when he wrote this book, is one of the greatest things for me. I focus on nothing but one thing at a time early in my day, and it makes me incredibly productive. And then lastly, this is in MOA. We talk about checklists and alarms. In the U.S. military, we have checklists for every single thing we do. You have to memorize the checklist, but it doesn't matter if you've been a pilot for 40 years. Checklist has to be strapped to your leg before you take off. There's no exceptions to this. And then having alarms for when I get onto things and when I get off of things. Those are also things that help me accomplish goals. And I keep coming up with one more. One more is Dan Martell's book, Buy Back Your Time. When you get to a certain level of success, you need to take every single thing that takes energy away from you, and you need to hire someone else to do it. You need to get to the point where like you're literally like, I like creating content. I like coaching. I like doing fulfillment. That's all I want to do. I don't want to pay taxes for my company. I have a guy who does that. I don't want to sit there and edit videos. I have a guy who does that. Doing that, it energizes you so much. So I get more done, and I'm actually more efficient the more of my time I buy back. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, I
Thanks
like that
to
idea.
you, I started reading Gary Keller's The One Thing quite a while back, actually. Probably my new favorite book now. So that was really helpful for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea of definitely hiring people to do the other things. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets to the point where, you're so busy and you want to be efficient in all these other areas. And it's hard to do that if you're draining all your energy doing all the other stuff that you could hire somebody else to do. So I definitely agree with that. But as far as the question specifically, I would say one of the things that can make a person hold themselves accountable first is being able to see themselves achieve a goal first and foremost. So the problem is that sometimes when people think about goals, they think about something super crazy and big, and then they strive for that, and then they don't hit the goal. So then they feel some type of way, and then it causes them to not try to achieve their goal. So I say do something small first. It could be anything, and achieve that goal so that you can see that you can actually achieve a goal. So once you realize you can, then you'll be more accountable for the bigger goals that you're trying to meet, because then you say, okay, well, now I realize that it's actually my fault if I don't achieve this goal, because I understand that I can achieve goals so that I achieve this small goal. So if I'm trying to do these other things and I'm not doing it, then I can't really blame anyone, because I understand logically that it's all on me. But it's like, I think sometimes what happens is is that you have to be able to get a person to do something that is small, that is easily achievable in a shorter amount of time, so that they can do that and see that it's possible, so that they could do more and more, goals down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The idea of, so, there's a lot of woo-woo stuff people talk about with aspirational quotes and stuff like that. Visualization actually has a place in psychology. It's a real thing. If you can visualize yourself having a certain level of success, or what another great idea is to find mentors. And a lot of times for me, if I can find somebody who's in my same, around the same age, with the same size business, who dealt with similar problems that I dealt with, and then came up with a solution for those problems, I'm more motivated to solve those problems. Again, like the first, you know, woman or African American who becomes president, that's going to be the hardest. The next one is going to be, well, I've seen someone do it before. When Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, the next guy to break the 4-minute mile was 43 days later. So, and then also when Michael Johnson broke the world record in the 200, there were 7 other guys in that heat that also broke the previous world record in the 200. So when you can see other people accomplish those goals and visualize it, that's why I recommend guys all the time. It's like, you're starting a new business, go on TikTok, find the guy who's going super viral, making content around that business, even if it's like staining wood flooring, or you're an accountant, something super boring. You can find somebody who's crushing it doing that, and it gives you more confidence and gives you a direction. Humans need a direction. As much as they need motivation, they need a direction. They need a Super Bowl to try to play for. You give them that kind of motivation internally. Another great book with Simon Sinek, Start With Why. If you can figure out what your why is, that is also a great way to help with your motivation.
Yeah, it's real talk. Real talk.
All right.